everyone, in this lesson we are going to be looking at how the Godot editor compares to the Unity editor. Now overall they are very similar in layout, so transitioning from Unity to Godot is not going to require an entirely new understanding of the program. So to begin with, Godot is split up into a number of different docks. In Unity, these are known as windows, and essentially they act in the same way. These individual docks each serve a specific purpose, and you can reorganize them by dragging these little panels around or clicking and dragging on the tabs to reorder them wherever you wish in the editor. And the same thing goes for Unity as well. You can reorganize them as you already know, and you can move them around like so. Okay, but how do the individual windows/docks actually differentiate or relate to one another? Well, let's go one by one and have a look at how Godot and Unity are similar in their windows. So first of all, in Unity, we have the hierarchy, and this is where we have a list of all the game objects inside of our scene. Over in Godot, we have the scene dock. This is where we have a list of all the nodes in our current scene. So that right there is already pretty similar. In Unity, we then have the inspector on the right-hand side. Whenever we select a game object, the inspector displays all of its components so we can have a much deeper understanding of how this game object works and modify its properties. Over in Godot, we also have the inspector, and if I select a node, you can see we can go in and modify its individual properties right here. Over in Unity, down at the bottom, we have our project window, which displays essentially a file explorer of all the different folders and assets we have in our project. Godot has the exact same thing, known as the file system, and this works in the exact same way. We have our folders, and we have our different assets here. Over in Unity, we have the console. This window allows us to have debug information as well as errors being displayed. Godot has the exact same thing, but it may be a bit hard to see straight away. It is down here. We have to click on the little output window right here, and this opens up the output dock. In Godot, the console is known as the output. And when we play our game, errors are going to be showed up in the debugger right here. The debugger is a bit more of an advanced console, similar in many ways to the Unity profiler window. Okay, so you can get some quite in-depth profiling and error logging here in the debugger. Now, here in the center of the editor inside of Unity, we have our scene window. And this right here is a look inside of our scene where we can construct our game objects and build out our levels. We can navigate around this. And then we have our game window, which when we press play, it gets switched over to, and this is where we are going to play our game from. Okay, so we have these two distinct windows right here. Now, it behaves a bit differently inside of Godot. In Godot, we have our main viewport right here, which is basically the exact same thing as Unity, and the controls are very similar as well. Right mouse to control the camera, and WASD to move around. Also, pressing F on a selected node zooms in on it, pretty much the exact same as Unity, so those controls are very familiar. But in Godot, we also have a different way of running our game. When we press play up here at the top right corner, this is going to open up a separate instance of our game in its own unique window. Okay, whereas in Unity, we play the game in the editor. In Godot, we open up a new instance of that window. But Godot also has the ability to play the game inside of the editor. Simply go over to the game panel or the game dock up here by clicking the button, and this is where we can then play our game inside the editor. Now, one thing Unity does not have that Godot does is a built-in scripting editor, which we can click on right here. And this is where we can write scripts inside of the Godot engine. With Unity, we have to open up a third-party software, such as Visual Studio, in order to do that. Whereas in Godot, we can edit our scripts directly in here. But do note that Godot also has the ability to open up scripts in third-party softwares as well, okay? But it is nice and easy to do it here inside the editor, switching between these docks like so. Now, let's explore some additional docks that Godot has that Unity doesn't. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll see, as well as the inspector, we have signals and groups. Signals essentially lists out all the available signals that a node has. So when we select a node, it shows all the available signals. Now, what is a signal? Well, in Unity, these would be known as events. Essentially, events are things we can subscribe to and be notified when they occur. In Godot, these are known as signals, and we connect to a signal. And when a signal emits, we get informed. For example, we might want to have a script that gets informed whenever this main node right here is renamed or when it exits the tree. Okay, and you can of course create your own signals as you can create your own events inside of Unity. But unlike Unity, there is no dedicated window to see a GameObjects events, whereas in Godot, we have the ability to see each individual node's list of signals, and we can connect to them by double-clicking on them and then selecting the node we wish to attach it to. Now, another window that Godot has is groups up here at the top right. Now, groups are essentially tags in Unity, okay? We can sort of label a node as a certain thing, maybe such as a player or an enemy, and then this can then be checked and accessed inside of a script. So in Unity, the equivalent would be tags. If I select a game object, I can go to the inspector and change its tag right here. We don't have a dedicated tag window for each game object, rather we just have a little drop down here, and if I click add tag, this takes us over to the tags and layers window where we can create a list of global tags and layers, etc. that we can then assign to our game objects. But over inside of Godot, we can create individual groups for a node, or we can create global groups which can be applied to multiple different things. So the two systems are very similar but differ in minor ways. Now, inside of Unity, if we have an asset like a texture right here, you'll see that when I select it, the inspector changes to the import settings. This is where we can change all the different properties such as the texture type, the max size, compression, the bitmap settings and all of that. We can change all of that right here and then apply that. Godot has a similar thing, but instead of having the textures or the assets properties being displayed in the inspector, they are instead displayed in their own little dock. Right here next to scene, we have the import dock. And this right here, again, similar to Unity, shows all the different settings that we can apply to the individual selected asset. And then we can click re-import to apply those changes. Now, inside of Unity, we also have the ability to explore our project settings. So to do that, we can go up to where we have edit and then go down to project settings. And this is where we can adjust all sorts of things such as the quality, physics settings, the size of the window, the full screen settings, things like that. Godot has a very similar window, which basically behaves in the same way as Unity. And this can be accessed by going project settings. And again, it looks very similar to Unity with all the settings on the side. And if you're familiar with Unity, you'll have no issue understanding the Godot project settings. Now in Unity, if you want to change aspects with the editor itself, you can go up to edit and then down to preferences. This is the editor-specific settings where you can adjust things such as the external tools, the different colors, and all the different shortcuts and things that you might want to do. Godot has a similar thing. We can go up to where we have editor and then down to editor settings. And again, like with Unity, this behaves in a very similar way. So overall, the two editors are quite similar, and it is a real comfortable transition if you are going from Unity to Godot. Hey everyone, in this lesson, we are going to be looking at nodes and scenes and having a look at their equivalent versions in Unity. So first of all, let's go over GameObjects in Unity. Okay, in Unity, you have GameObjects, and these are essentially the building blocks of your game, the different entities. Well, in Godot, we have nodes, which behave in a very similar manner. You can see right here in the two examples, on the left we have Unity and on the right we have Godot. We can kind of see our scene structure and how they are both very similar. We have a main camera game object, we have a camera 3D node in Godot, we have an audio source game object in Unity, we have an audio stream player 3D node in Godot. They're very similar in that way. Okay, but they differ in terms of components. Okay, in Unity, we have the concept of components, which are the individual behaviors that we can attach to a game object. Whereas in Godot, nodes only have a singular behavior. Okay, nodes do one thing and one thing only. So to create complex objects, instead of attaching various components to a single entity, we create multiple different entities and couple them together. Okay. So in the example here, you can see we have a cube, which has a mesh filter, a mesh renderer to display it in visual 3D space, and then a box collider to give it shape. Whereas inside of Godot, we have a static body 3D, which represents a static physics object. Then as a child, we have a mesh instance 3D node, which renders a 3D mesh, and then a collision shape 3D, which is essentially the box collider component. And this right here is one of the main differences between the two engines. Again, in Unity, you have GameObjects and components, whereas in Godot, you just have nodes, and that is how you construct your complex objects. So in Unity, if you were to have a player controller, you would probably have a GameObject as your player that moves around and a camera as a child of that. Whereas in Godot, you would probably have your main player controller node, and as a child of that, you would have your camera. You would have your collider node, you would have your health node, you would have the various other nodes that in Unity you would simply attach to the root object as a component. Now, in terms of prefabs, in Unity, these are essentially stored and reusable game objects. Godot has something similar, but instead of prefabs, they are called scenes, okay? But they behave in essentially the same way. A prefab is a game object with its children that you can save to the disk. In Godot, a scene is a node with all of its children, nodes, and everything that you can save to the disk, and then instantiate during runtime. Now, something that does differ between the two engines quite a bit is the idea of scenes. Essentially, they both behave in the same way. A scene can act as a level for your game, but in Unity, scenes are their own type of asset. Okay, these are specific assets you can create which store collections of game objects, and they can be loaded up and unloaded. Whereas in Godot, scenes are the same as prefabs. Okay, a prefab and a scene in Godot are indistinguishable. So in Godot, you can kind of load into a prefab and play a prefab. It sounds a bit strange when you think of it from a Unity point of view, but in Godot, scenes and prefabs are the same thing. They're all scenes. And it removes the needless differentiation between a scene as a prefab, because in Unity, a scene, you could essentially think of it as a prefab with a bunch of children, game objects, and prefabs inside of it. And that is what Godot does. Now, one more thing about nodes, and it's very important to know. Again, nodes are the building blocks of every single thing in Godot. Your components are nodes. Your scenes are nodes. The Godot editor itself is made using nodes, okay? Nodes are such a fundamental aspect of the engine itself that, well, they also make up the engine, okay? And like I mentioned before, it's as if Unity scenes were prefabs. So here's a quick little guide that you can refer to basically understand the terminology and how these two systems are similar and differentiate from one another. Now let's jump over into the two engines and have a look at how we can create a simple physics object. So here I am in Unity. I have a simple little ground collider with a camera over here, and in Godot, I have the exact same setup created right here. Now, what we're going to do is first of all create a simple little ball that is going to be pulled down by gravity with a rigid body, and then we're going to recreate that over in Godot. So to create this in Unity, we would simply right-click in the hierarchy, go down to 3D Objects, Sphere. This would create a brand new game object, which we can then center its position here and then move it up a little bit. And then to apply physics to it, we simply go down to Add Component and search for Rigid Body. And since we already have a sphere collider, we have no need to add a collider object. And then simply we can press play and see it fall down to the ground. And there we go. Now, how do we go about creating this inside of Godot? Because in Unity, we have just used a single game object with a list of different components to give this object its behaviors. Inside of Godot, we're going to start off by creating a rigid body node. So let's go over to our scene dock here and click on the plus icon. And here is where we have a list of all the different nodes we can create in the editor. So I'm going to go up to the search bar and type in rigid body, and you'll see here rigid body 3D. We're going to create that right there. And this rigid body 3D, we can move it around, as you can see, in 3D space. But at the moment, it doesn't really do anything. It's an empty point in 3D space that has physics being applied. And in fact, you'll see here in the scene doc, we have this little warning icon essentially saying that for this to work, it needs a collision shape node. So we're going to right click on the rigid body 3D, go add child node, and search for a collision shape 3D. This is what gives the rigid body its physical shape in physics space. Then we need to apply an actual shape to this node. So we can go over to the inspector, go to the shape property here, click on the little drop down and select sphere shape 3D. Now you can see in the editor here, we have this sphere collider that has been created. And if we select the root rigid body 3D node, we can just drag that up like so. But there is no visual currently, okay? This is just the debug view of the collider. So to add the equivalent of a mesh renderer inside of Godot, we need to right click on the rigid body 3D to add a child node, go add child node, and search for mesh instance 3D. Then we can go over to the inspector, go to the mesh property, and set this to be sphere mesh right here. And there we go. So you can kind of see how in Unity, we have the game object and we attach components to that. Whereas in Godot, we make up our object via these individual nodes. Now, if we save and then press play, we should see that we see the ball fall down exactly as it done inside of Unity. So hopefully you have an understanding now of how these two engines are both similar, but also different, okay? In Unity, we have game objects, scenes, prefabs, and components, whereas in Godot, we only have nodes and scenes. Now, coming over from Unity to Godot, it may take a bit of time to get used to the node system and how it works, but I think once you get used to it, you'll really come to appreciate how great it really is, as it leans heavily into the principles of composition, as you are composing your objects of individual parts that you're kind of stitching together, okay? And I think for a game engine, this works great.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, you'll love Zenva Academy. 300 courses where you learn by actually building games. Links in the description.